Hello everyone, thanks for joining us today. My name is Andrew Townsend, I'm with eLearning Brothers. Today we're going to be talking about your eLearning Brothers account. This is going to be a run through and a welcome, so to speak, of the account that you get when you register for eLearning Brothers. To talk to us about this, we have Clara Cummings. She's our Customer Success Manager. Thanks for taking some time to visit with us today and give us a walkthrough of our account.
Of course.
If you have questions during the webinar, if you want to make comments or participate, please use the questions panel. We've got that open here, and I'll try to get as many of those questions out in front of Claire as we can, and we may be answering some of those behind the scenes as well. If there's any question that we can't get to, we'll try to get those answered in the webinar recap or in the follow-up email later today. This webinar will be recorded, and we'll get a copy of that emailed to everyone later today, and we'll also get that posted in our webinar recap later in the week. Also, if you don't already have one, we will be giving everyone a free eLearning Brothers account, so you can look forward to that if you don't already have one. All right, so without further ado, I'll go ahead and turn the time over to you, Clara.
Great, thank you. I'm excited to be here this morning. And like Andrew said, we're just going to do a basic run through of your eLearning Brothers account. So I kind of have this webinar separated into 3 different subjects or topics, whatever you want to call them. So the first thing we'll be going over is just what your user dashboard is, how to navigate your user dashboard, and then also the eLearning Brothers website and library. So this will apply to everybody, child user, master user, anything like that. The second part, I will be showing you some of the eLearning Brothers styles templates and something that our one of our designers, Bill, was able to create using those style templates in 5, 15, and 30 minutes, I think, are which examples I have. So if you're interested in seeing what's possible using the eLearning Brothers templates, stay tuned for part 2. And then part 3 is going to be master group admin access, kind of higher level company information things. So if you are in charge of assigning subscriptions for your company, or you ever need to print a receipt or edit company information, that will be covered in part 3 of the webinar. So those are kind of our 3 topics. So we'll go ahead and get started. Like I said, we're going to start with just the basic, eLearning Brothers dashboard and website. So I'm starting at library.elearningbrothers.com. This is where I recommend you guys bookmark or go to whenever you need to access the eLearning Brothers website. If you go to normal, just elearningbrothers.com, there is a login button at the top right-hand corner on that web page, but it redirects you back here. So library.elearningbrothers.com is my first little tip for you guys of how to access the website. So I'm going to just log in, and we are going to log in with an email address today. And no, my name is not Joan, but this is the account we're going to be using for today. Great. Okay, so now I am all logged in. First, we're going to cover the user dashboard. So I'm going to just come right up here to my name, or Joan's name, I guess. I'm just going to be Joan Jett today. So come up to Joan's name here and click it, and that takes me right to her user dashboard. And so from here, I can access the libraries, manage profile information. We'll go through each of these tabs. If you are a master account holder or a group admin, you'll probably have some, well, you should. You should have about 6 more tabs underneath this reviews and ratings, things that say like manage users, free users, company profile, some other things like that. So like I said, that will be covered in part 3 of the webinar, but right now we're just going to cover these top 6 tabs. So this libraries tab will show you which libraries you have access to. So it looks like Joan has access to our asset library, which is all 6 of our eLearning Brothers libraries, or 5 plus the medical image library. So asset library is 5. And then right here, she can see that she doesn't have access to the Common Craft or the Training Arcade. If you see those types of things on your library's dashboard and you're interested in purchasing either something like the Common Craft or Training Arcade that you're not already subscribed to, feel free to either give us a call or we can set you up with an account representative who can help get you access to some of the different libraries you may not have access to. So Joan could click on any one of these and be taken straight to the specific library page if she wanted. We'll come back to this in a little bit, but for now we're going to just keep chugging along on the dashboard. There we go. Okay, perfect. So like I said, this Manage Profile tab is where you're going to come if you ever need to edit your own information. Yes, so your skills, connect your LinkedIn and Facebook accounts. If you need to add any tools, select which tools you like to use. That can all be edited from this page right here. The next tab is the My Favorites tab, and this is one of my favorite features about the website. So as you're looking through the website and you find different assets that you like and you want to be able to group them together, if you're building a certain course or something and you want to store like assets together, it makes it really, really easy for you to do that. So for this webinar today, we're going to create a collection, and then as we're searching through the libraries, I'll be adding stuff to that collection so you can see just how it works and how easy it is to group those similar assets together to go back and find later. So we're going to call this, let's see, we'll just say we need to do things that make me happy. So happy things for today is what we're going to do. Great. So now I have a collection, and as I'm going through the website and find things that make me happy, if that's what my course is about, I can go ahead and add those right to that collection and then come back later and we will see how to access the assets within that collection. The Downloads tab is also something that's really cool. I can come in and see everything that I've downloaded in the past. If I had that certain stock image that I know I found like 6 months ago, but I don't remember exactly what I searched, or I don't want to search through the 900 pictures that came up, this makes it really easy. I can just come back in here, look through my download list and find that asset that I'm looking for. Another cool thing is we can search by, you can either type in the name of the asset if you happen to remember that, or you can search by the ELB team or member libraries to see specific things that you've downloaded from each of those. So that's another thing that makes it really cool and really easy to find things that you've downloaded in the past. Uploads is something that has to do with our team and member libraries, which we'll go into in a second, but this is where you can see everything that you've uploaded to either that team or member library, and it also gives you a place to upload just right here from this page. And the last tab here is the Reviews and Ratings tab. So if I had left reviews on any one of the templates, this is where I could see all of those that I've left in the past. All right, so that kind of covers it for the dashboard. Next, I'm going to talk really quickly about our member and team libraries. So the member library is something that we have created for all of eLearning Brothers members to kind of draw inspiration from and share assets together with each other. And so the way it works is that if you have a paid subscription to our eLearning Brothers template library, you also have access to the eLearning Brothers member template library. Same goes for Cutout and Stock. If you've got paid subscriptions to those, you get access to the member libraries of those. And so as you are creating and editing assets, you can upload those to the member library, and other eLearning Brothers members can go in and access them, download them, draw inspiration. So if you are kind of in a rut and you need some inspiration on how to edit a certain template, you can come to these libraries and see what other people have been able to create, and then use those assets for your own courses and presentations. The team library is a little bit more specific. So that one is for just use within your group or company account. So say you had a Cutout person that you've edited to have a shirt color that matches your brand, and you want to be able to share that Cutout person within your team. You can edit that one image or 12 images that you're going to do and upload those to your team library, and then anyone who's in your group or company account can go to the team library, access that new edited great Cutout person that matches, and use that so there's consistency across your courses and in between team members and things like that. So those are two really cool library features that we've also made available. So that kind of covers it for this main dashboard and how things work in here. So now we're going to just go into a little bit about the website, how that all works, how to access it, how to navigate it, things like that. So coming back to Joan's Libraries tab here at the top, either she can, like I said earlier, she can either click on any one of these icons that she has access to, or you can come up here to this ELB Libraries navigation tab and just click on which one you want to start with. So we're going to start with templates this morning. And this is really cool. Our templates library homepage showcases all of our brand new styles, which we'll go into a little bit in part 2, but it's a really easy way for you to create consistency across a whole course, and it just makes it really easy to start with something rather than building entirely from scratch. We'll go into that a little bit later, like I said, so if you're interested in that, stay tuned. As I come down here, I can select which tool I'm using and find different course starters or games, layouts based on the tool that I'm using. So today, let's say I want to use Storyline and I'm looking for a scenario. So I can just come click Storyline Scenarios, and I have all these really great scenarios that I can come and choose from. Let's say I like this one right here, this big neon one. That one's kind of fun. So by hovering over the thumbnail, I can either download it straight from the thumbnail right here using these 2 little pop-outs, or I can click on it and be taken to the media object page, which will give me a little bit more information into the template. So it has information like some keywords, it has a little bit of a description about the template. I can see a preview for how it works. Okay, we'll just come back here. So we'll try again with a different asset. Maybe it'll load a little bit quicker for us. But this one, also, if I click on the thumbnail, it gives me the option to download once I'm on that media object page, that second page. So this is something that I know I'm going to want to include in my course later. And so I'm going to add it to that Happy Things collection that we made earlier. So again, I can do this right from hovering over the thumbnail, clicking this little plus button and adding it right to my Happy Things. And now I've got one asset in my Happy Things collection, and you can see here this little orange dot lets me know that it's saved to my favorites. So as I'm scrolling through the library later, I can see an orange dot that notifies me that I have indeed saved that already to my favorites. Again, with the template library, you can also use the search query box to find to search by keyword if you kind of have a more general idea, or these little pop-out menus also function great if you're wanting to, see course starters for presenter or things like that. You can also use this top navigation bar. Next, we're going to talk about the Cutout People library, and I'm sure you guys all know how valuable Cutout People are to your courses. So, Cutout People has the, using a cutout person has the ability to help motivate your learners. It creates a more immersive experience. It helps your learners relate more to the content. So the benefits of using a cutout person throughout your course are innumerable, which is great. These characters, we have literally hundreds, or I guess we have hundreds of models with thousands of images that show them in different poses, different facial expressions. We've got different ethnicities from all around the world. We have all of these different things available for you to use in the Cutout People library. So let me try and reload this up here. Okay, there we go. Maybe I just need to hit the X and let it refresh again. Okay, so this is the Cutout People library homepage. I can choose to look by ethnicity here. All of these have little menus that kind of show me which categories I can search by, or I can use this top search query box to find what I'm looking for as well. So let's say I need a business person. So I'm just going to type business in here. And I've got 337 things available for different types of people for me to use. So let's say that once I kind of get here, I'm like, oh, well, actually, I really need a female business person. So I'm going to come up to this gender one, selector, I guess, and click female. And now I have narrowed my search results down a little bit even more, and I can select from in here. So let's say, like, I really like the way that Claudia, I think she's going to fit my course really well. So I'm going to come in here and click Claudia, and we can see that I've got 90 images here to select from. So I need one where she's holding a sign. which is great. Let's click on this one and see if that media object page loads. Great, the media object page is loaded. So when you click on the thumbnail, this is the type of page that you'll get to. You'll see again here that there are download options available, just like if you were to hover over the thumbnail. We have the option to add it to my favorites as well, so let's go ahead and do that. She's added now. We've got 2 things in our happy things collection. I can see keywords and then get a basic description. Again, with the templates, the descriptions are usually a little bit more descriptive than just, oh, this is the model with a transparent background. So you can get an idea. Also on the templates, one cool thing that the media object page has is it does have a version history. So if you download an asset and you want to come back and see if there's been any updates made to that asset, you can click on that thumbnail and it'll take you right to the media object page where you'll see the version history. So that is something that has worked really well. So we've covered the Cutout People library, I think. Are there any questions about Cutout People or the templates already? Nope, we're looking good. Great. Awesome. Okay, so we'll just keep chugging right along then. Okay, next is the stock asset library. So we have over 2 million stock assets between images and audio files and video files as well. And again, with each of these, so if I've got an audio one, we've got popular search categories. So I want something happy and upbeat. And we've got lots of different options here available for you to choose. So if I were to preview this, I won't do this on the webinar because you guys don't all need to listen to that. I can go ahead again, add it to my favorites right here, click on it, get a little bit more information about the file, if there's any things like that. While you're searching in the stock image library, I do have a quick tip. So let's say I want to just do some learning. Let's see what learning comes up with. Unless we're gonna hit that wall again, in which case I will try refreshing it, see if that helps.
I'm getting feedback from other people in the office that library dot's just going a little slow this morning.
Okay.
So we'll try to get that fixed.
Okay. Oh, really quickly, we do have a question about the Cutout People. So before I go into the stock, I will address this. So there, so she says, in Captivate, I have that assets file. Is there a limit to how many I can download and have stored there? So I'm not sure as far as within Captivate. I know that if you're downloading from the eLearning Brothers library, you do have a daily download limit of 30 items per library per day. And that just helps us, it's just one of the preventative measures we put in place to prevent stockpiling. So if you do have a really big project, just give us a call and we can kind of work through that with you. As far as Captivate goes, I think the download limit is 100. So if you're downloading from the library, it's 30, but if you're within Captivate, that's 100. So hopefully that answers your question, Michelle. If not, drop another one and we can hopefully address that. And then Diane asked, are these royalty free and no problem with copyright laws? So that is about our stock asset library, and yes, once you download the image, you are free to use that as many times as you need, as long as your eLearning Brothers subscription is current and active. And that goes for all of our templates, all of the assets. Whatever content you build within that year subscription, you're fine to use whatever assets in that, but as soon as that year is over, you can't use those same assets to create new content, if that makes sense.
Unless you renew your
account, yes. So yeah, so if you renew your subscription, then by all means continue to use those assets, please do. The 100 a day for Lectora, no, it's just Captivate that has 100 a day. And then, yes, let's see. Okay, we have one more question and then we'll go on with stock. So I have to rejoin every year for a free account? No, the free accounts are lifetime accounts. You do only have access to our free library assets, but if you're doing any of the paid things, you do have to renew for a paid subscription every year. Free accounts, you're good to go for life. So back to the stock asset library. I'm so glad you guys are asking questions. This makes it a lot easier on me. I know exactly. I'm here to help you guys understand more. So really, if you guys have questions, please let me know. Please drop them in the chat and either myself or one of the other moderators who are on will go ahead and answer that for you. So with the stock asset library, one tip I have, so if you notice, if you've ever looked in our stock library, one thing it does is it just scrolls on for what feels like ever. So as you continue going farther and farther down, more and more images continue loading. And if you click on an image, it will make you lose your spot in the search. And that can be something that's really frustrating when you're like 1,000 pictures in and all of a sudden you come back and it doesn't take you to the same spot. So one little tip I have is if I find an image that I like and maybe want to look a little bit more about, I just right click and open link in new tab. And then I can view that picture a little bit better, can download it again right here. I can view that picture, decide I maybe don't like it, decide I need to go another direction, but I don't lose my spot in the search. So that's another little tip I have. When you're searching the stock asset library, right click and open in a new tab so you don't lose your spot in your search. Okay, let's see. PowerPoint graphics is next. While that's loading. Lectora, they have the same, so the question was how many images or downloads are available for Lectora daily? It's that same 30 a day. So that 30 a day is across the board. It's only Captivate that has 100. Go a little faster. There we go. Okay, so the PowerPoint graphics library is another really cool library that we have. Every single element in each of the templates that you download is 100% editable within PowerPoint itself. So you don't need to have some fancy tool to edit that. You can do it right within PowerPoint. So one question we get a lot is like if you have a map. So let's come here to this maps. This one right here, for example. Each one of the states is completely editable, as well as the United States map as a whole. So if I wanted to make Texas pink or something, and just Texas, I would totally be able to do that. And I could also make Wyoming a little bit bigger if I wanted to do that. So I could edit each one of the 50 states individually or edit the map as a whole. And that's the way all of our PowerPoint graphics in the library work. So, you know, they also are plug and play. You can just plug it right in and it functions as a template. It works, change your colors, change your number values. So you can go ahead and continue creating awesome content within that PowerPoint graphics library. And I lost my mouse. Oh, there we go, my cursor. Found it. Okay. Next, we are going to go to the icon library. So this is something really cool that we've come out with just within the last, I want to say, year or so. And we've got all sorts of different icons in a lot of different styles. You know, icons make it really easy to just get a quick glance about what something is going to be about. It puts a visual image inside your learners' minds, making it really, really easy for them to identify with whatever it's going to be talked about. Let's see, so I want to come, like we said, we're doing happy things and food is something that makes me happy. So I'm gonna click on this food one and see what kind of things we can find in here. Another cool thing about the icon library is the SVG, the scalable vector graphics. They are editable with inside PowerPoint. So you don't need to have some fancy tool like Adobe Illustrator or anything like that. You can edit all of these within PowerPoint, which is something most people have, and you can make it bigger, you can edit the colors, edit the fills, everything like that. So if I've got this fish, I would just download this scalable vector graphic file and be able to edit that with inside PowerPoint. So there's another quick little tip for you. Fish actually doesn't make me happy, so I'm not gonna add that to my happy things. We're gonna skip that. But oranges do. I had orange juice for breakfast this morning, so we're gonna add orange to my collection here. And again, that orange dot pops up, saved to my favorites. You can also see up here, I had a green dot, which means I've previously downloaded this. So I previously downloaded the cinnamon sticks and the cookies. So that tells you anything about me, you know, so maybe snickerdoodles or something. So that green dot can let you know as you're searching again what things that you've already downloaded previously. Okay, and then we've got our training arcade, medical library, common craft library, and interaction builder. I'm not going to go into those today. If you've got questions about that, again, please drop your name in the questions box and just say I'm interested in learning more about any one of those libraries, and we can reach out to you individually after the webinar is over and kind of give you a more in-depth thing about that. So we've got a couple more questions. So is the image download limit per account or is it per seat? For example, if we have 3 seats. So the image download count is per seat. So if you have 3 seats for the template library, then each person is allowed to download 30. 30 times 3 is 90. Let's see. Next, why do you need separate memberships for PowerPoint? That's just one of the libraries that we have available to purchase. If you purchase our asset library, we give you access to the eLearning Brothers template library, Cutout People library, stock image library, icons library, which we're on right now, and the PowerPoint graphics library. So if you have something like Lectora, just the relationship that we have with them includes just part of the subscription, and so you just need to purchase the full subscription from us. So that's there. Let's see. Do SVGs also work and are editable in Keynote? I actually don't know that, but I will find out and follow up with you after the webinar. Cassie.
Yeah, that's something we'll get in the email follow-up to make sure everybody knows.
Email follow-up.
I'm not sure about that one either.
Yes, I will find out about that for you, and we will follow up in the email. So if you're interested in knowing if the SVGs are editable inside Keynote, we will find that out. Okay, let's see. All right. That covers that, I think. So we're going to move to part 2, which is, like I said, something that our awesome designer Bill was able to create using the eLearning Brothers styles. So let me show you really quickly which ones he was able to get to, which ones he used. So again, coming back to this template library, he used our jet black storyline files. So I'll show you how to find that. How weird. As soon as I refresh it, it works. Okay, so he came right here to this jet black storyline, and he's got 32 awesome templates to work from and edit for us so that we can see what is possible when you start with a template. Starting with a template is going to save you a ton of time. I'm sure you guys all know it's so frustrating sometimes to try to build something from scratch. And starting with a template can really, really save you a ton of time. So let me start the presentation. Okay, great. So here is the first thing that Bill started with. So obviously these are screenshots. These are not going to be the actual template. The functionality still all works, but for our purposes, screenshots are going to do just great. So this is what the downloaded file looks like. So when he hits download on that 5-tab click to reveal, this is what he gets. You can see it's pretty basic, pretty easy to understand, pretty easy to see, but let's see what he did with it. So in just 10 minutes, he was able to change a lot of stuff. So I am not a developer at all, but a couple things that I noticed right off the bat is he changed the narrator. So he's changed it to this beautiful girl here. He's also changed the tab colors. I think that's called active states. I may be wrong, but he's changed the tab color from a kind of a gray black fill to a green fill. He's added a stock image on the 3rd screenshot and a couple of icons from the icon library on the 2nd one. He's also changed which poses she's in. If you notice the difference between the man and the female, they are in different poses, so it's not like he just went straight across. Again, 10 minutes, that is nothing. And let's see, so he actually gave me a list of everything that he was able to do inside of that 10 minutes. Like I said, we're not going to go too much into how he was able to do it. This is more of just to show you what is possible. Again, we've got the original one on the left here and then the edited one on the right. So in just 10 minutes, that's a lot of stuff to change. Let's take a look at the next one. So the next one is our 8-tab click to reveal. Again, pretty basic, pretty similar to the 5-tab click to reveal, but he's able to do something completely different. And this one took him a little bit longer, took him 15 minutes, but I think you guys are really going to be surprised in all the stuff he was able to do again in just 15 minutes. So let's see. What? It's totally different. He's made it 6 tabs to fit whatever content he needs to create. So 6 tabs, it's now no longer in columns, it's more of a circular thing. He's also got some different colors in there. We've got a tannish yellow color rather than just the normal black grayscale. So again, 15 minutes is pretty quick. Let's look at his list really fast. I mean, when I look at that list, that seems like, you know, if I were to do that from scratch, I wouldn't be able to. But just the amount of things that he was able to edit in 15 minutes, and had he tried to create that right-hand interaction from scratch, it would have taken him a lot longer than 15 minutes to go in and create each of the little things that he needed to. One thing I do want to note is he did have to create additional arrow graphics, so he did create some things. But again, he didn't have to create everything. So even though he started with a template, he still needed to add his own elements to make it fit whatever project he needed to. And so the eLearning Brothers templates are great for that. They are just plug as you need, and they're fully functional upon download, and you don't have to change anything. But if you do need to change stuff, which most of us usually do, the templates, starting with them, saves you a bunch of time and makes your life a lot easier. Our next little example is he was given this ILT file and said, hey, can you create a course for us in 30 minutes? Here's the stuff that needs to be in your course. Ready, set, go. Start the timer. 30 minutes. That's a pretty tight deadline. But using the styles templates, he was able to do it. So he used 2 of the eLearning Brothers Jet Black style template files. He used the storyline layout template, and he also used that same 8-tab click to reveal that we just saw, except for instead of creating a little circle with arrows, he actually created a matrix, which I will show you in a second. So he did something totally different. Again, it kind of just shows you the options with the template. You can either create something like that little circle one, or you can create a matrix. I mean, the options are endless, honestly. Okay, so we've got all layout files here. So let's see the next one. These again are layout files. You can notice he's got some stock images here on slides 1 and 4, and then he also has a little icon on the second slide. Next, here is that same 8-tab click to reveal interaction that we saw earlier, but now it's in a matrix form. He spent about 10 minutes on this matrix alone. So about 10 minutes of his 30 were spent creating this. But again, 10 minutes is not a very long time when you're trying to build something from scratch, which you're not because you're building it from the template. Okay, so here is his list. He does make a note that Storyline actually crashed towards the latter half of the build. And so he had to reopen Storyline, rebuild everything from the last save, and he still did that in the 30 minutes. So he didn't hit pause so that he could catch up. He still accounted for that in his 30 minutes. The 30 minutes also accounts for his time to log into the eLearning Brothers website, search the libraries, find the assets he wanted, the images and the cutout people and things like that. All of that was included in that 30 minutes. So here's what he did for each kind of screen that we saw. And here is the second half of that. Just again, all of this stuff is mostly over my head, but hopefully you guys understand how much time these can save you, and seeing exactly what he was able to do in those time limits shows you how valuable the eLearning Brothers templates can be for you. So I don't want to get too much into how he was able to do this. Like I said, you are not wanting to learn from me how to do that, but he is working on creating some videos of how to edit each of the style templates. So all 32 of them in each of the 3 different tools that we have available. So in Lectora, Captivate, and Storyline. So be on the lookout for those, and he's creating some videos. I think he's got the Captivate ones done. It's just a matter of getting them on the website of just how to edit each of the 32 templates inside of Captivate. So if that's something you're interested in, keep a lookout because it is something that we are working on. Let's see. Great, we are done with that part. Okay, So lastly, what I wanted to go over is the account management side. So if you are a group user who is in charge of assigning licenses and subscriptions for your group or company, this is for you. This is what I want to show you. So I am just logging into my account here. So unfortunately, I'm not actually Joan yet. But let's see. Okay, so I am logged in now with my master account. So again, to access that user dashboard, I'm just at library.elearningbrothers.com. Click on your name in the top right-hand corner, and you are redirected to the dashboard. And we're going to refresh it, and it works. Magic. Okay, so as you can see here, I am not subscribed to anything. I couldn't just click on the Common Craft library and be taken to it. I'd be taken to a pricing page. And again, as I mentioned earlier, I have about, is it 6 or 7? 6 more tabs underneath what is available to all of the child users and normal users. Again, child user, like we covered in the first half, just has access to their own templates, or not templates, their own information, can't see company information, can't change any of that on the group level. So we've already covered these top ones up here. The only change is that on like the downloads tab and the uploads tab, you get a download history for your entire group. So whereas the child user can just see the things that they've downloaded, you as the master account holder have access to see exactly who has downloaded what. And you can search by user, you can search by library. Again, you can see here Joan has downloaded a lot. She must be working on a big course, but we've got Jimmy Page down here. I downloaded some stuff, some Wile E. Coyote downloaded some stuff. So we can search by any of that. And the same thing on the uploads tab. That's really the only difference. Everything else functions the same. The Manage Users tab is where we, if you need to add a new user or you want to add your whole team and have them automatically assigned to your account, if you need to assign and reassign subscriptions, it all happens on this Manage Users tab. So like I said, if you need to invite a whole team, copy and paste this link, send it out to your team. They'll automatically be added into your group. You don't need to send a new link for every team member. You can just plug in like all 12 of your team into one single email, copy and paste that link, and they can all 12 use it to sign up. If you need to add a new user, just maybe you have one or you don't want them to enter in their own information, just clicking that new user button will allow you to do that. Here's where I can view all of my users in my account. You can see Axel Rose is a blocked user here. He's left our company, no longer can access these subscriptions. The star indicates a master account, so that is me because I'm a star. The child user is indicated by this little person icon, and that, again, like I said, they only have access to the top 6 tabs. They can't assign and reassign subscriptions amongst themselves. Pretty much all they can do is log in, access their library, access their favorites and downloads and things like that, just for their account. Say that I don't want Joan to have access to the libraries anymore. I can just click her name, uncheck these boxes, and I want Freddie Mercury to have them. He's new, so we can go in and just add them here. So it's pretty easy to assign and reassign subscriptions. You can see here just information about the subscription itself, the number of seats that you have versus the total number of seats available, things like that. So that's that Manage Users tab. Free users is something more towards our enterprise accounts. So we have the ability, if you have a certain domain like @elb.com and you want all ELB users to be assigned to your group, we can set that up through this tab and have it auto approve, things like that. So if you're an enterprise account and want some more information on how to utilize that feature, again, drop a note in the chat and we will talk to you after the webinar is over. Managed subscriptions is where you can see all the subscriptions that your company or group has access to, all the ones that they've purchased in the past, all the ones that are active, everything like that. If I click on this details link, it will take me, let's click on one that's expired. Okay, so if I click on this details link, it'll show me the basic subscription and payment details. This one was one that we just added through our system, but normally it will have a credit card, credit card type as well as your last 4 digits and the amount that it was purchased for. Since this one is expired, you can't see that there are any users assigned to it, but any users assigned to this specific stock library subscription would appear down here below. Then manage payments gives you a place to store cards if you want to have that available and ready if you need to purchase more licenses or purchase another library. Makes it easy to just have that payment card available right there for you. Okay, and company information. If you moved offices and you need to change that, you want to have your phone number since you're the point of contact rather than your front desk phone number. You can change that here, or vice versa if you want them to have the front desk phone number rather than your own phone number. This is where you can edit all the information for your company at a group level. Subgroups is a really, really cool feature that we have just introduced in the last probably 2 or 3 months here. So if I've got a large team and I want to, have my devs in one subgroup, my IDs in another group, and maybe PMs in another group, I can create subgroups and assign my users back on that Manage Users tab to subgroups. And that makes it easy for license management. If all of your PMs need access to the stock asset library for some reason, you can see that right there, edit that. Subgroups is a great feature if you've got a large or a small team and just are looking for that next step of organization. Let's see, coming back to this questions box, let me see it looks like we've got one question. I subscribe and develop an online course to be uploaded to the organization website for public access. After a year, I no longer subscribe. Can the course still remain on my organization's website for public access? So what this question is kind of asking is, if I was a subscriber and I paid to create a course, and then in the course of that year, I uploaded the created content to my website, even though my eLearning Brothers subscription is expired, can I continue to have that course on my company's website? The answer is yes. So any content that you create within the course of that year, you can continue using after the eLearning Brothers subscription is up. It's just creating new content is not allowed. So if you wanted to use assets from that course in something else that you're doing, that wouldn't be allowed under the terms, but to continue using content you've already created in that year, that's totally fine. You're more than welcome to do that. Okay, so that kind of covers everything that I have as far as user or account management. Let me come back here and just show you what our finished product for our DoneJet favorites looks like, just to finish up. Okay, again, coming to this Manage Favorites tab, clicking on my happy things, and I've got all 4 of those saved right there. Again, I can click on it. It'll take me to this media object page. Oh, because we unsubscribed her, she doesn't have access to download anymore, but she can still access her favorites. Once the subscription is reassigned to her, she can download those from right here. She can click on that. Let's see if this one's gonna work this time. There we go. Okay, so again, download options will appear right here at the top. Keywords, we've got a description, software requirements, and any version history. So if that is, let's see, looks like we've got one more question to finish up here. Can you explain more about the loaded content on your site and how do you do that? So that's something a little bit beyond the scope of this webinar. That would just be something that if you have a course or some type of presentation that you've created and you want to load it onto your own website, that would be something that you I think would probably talk to your own IT team about, is how to get that onto your own website. So that
you're talking about the member libraries.
Oh, the member libraries. Yes.
The member libraries are a little bit different. Again, like Clara's saying, you had something up on the screen there for a second. You can give us a call and we're happy to walk you through more stuff one-on-one and get things worked out. There's the phone number there, 801-796-2767. You can also send us an email at info@elearningbrothers.com, and we're always happy to work things out with you and make sure you're understanding exactly what you're asking for.
Definitely.
I'm seeing one other question that says, I'm not seeing the same things Clara does under libraries. On the member dot section, you'll see the libraries that you're subscribed to. Not necessarily all of the libraries that Clara has. Clara has some extra things because she's a master account that has everything in it.
Yes.
So there's some extra magic there. But we'd love to show you more stuff one-on-one, dig into your personal account, let you see what might be different from what she showed today that's in yours, and help you understand that and use it to the best of your ability and make you a real e-learning rock star. One other, that question, so there's one, when I download, how do I save it to my pictures folders? That depends on your OS and other things that you're doing. So yeah, if you have more one-on-one questions, please give us a call, send us an email. We'll try to get a response to that. Was it Evernote?
Oh, it's, I think it's Keynote.
Yeah, Keynote, that's it. So we'll try to get that answer out in the email later
PowerPoint
today.
for Mac.
Thank you, Clara, for your time.
Yes.
Thanks everybody for joining us.
Yes, thank you all.
Give us a call, schedule a free demo, and we hope you'll join us next time. See ya.